pleasure to be here today to get to speak to y'all and just kind of give you a little bit of the program review of what our year's been like. For us in the Ag Science Department, it has been a year of change. When I start going through who our teachers are and everything, you'll probably recognize and see where our changes are. But this has been our year in review. So before we begin, I think something that we don't necessarily talk about enough in my world is the three-circle model. So in agri-science classes, we strive to build the three-circle model. So we have our classroom laboratory, we have our supervised agricultural experiences, or SAEs, and then we have our FFA leadership. There's a lot of times in my career that people go, oh, you're an FFA teacher. Well, I do that, but I do a lot of things with that. So these are our teachers. I'm sure most of y'all recognize Rochelle Darby. She's been at Harmony for several years. Just recently, this past year, her husband Cody retired, and then Mr. Jordan went to Winsboro, so that allowed the opportunity for her daughter, Bryn, to take a teaching position and basically becoming the new Cody Darby, and myself jumping in animal science. I went ahead and put where our education was and where our original home chapters were because that influences a program a great deal. So I did not grow up here. I grew up in Houston, went to Tarleton State, got placed in my student teaching at Gilmer, and then never left East Texas, and then married someone from here too. So, but these are our teachers. So in our classroom laboratory, one of the things that we are working towards is our career pathways and programs of study. So we are able to help our students funnel through these programs of study in the areas of applied agricultural engineering, agribusiness, animal science, and plant science. Currently, Harmony High School has an enrollment of 277 students. Our 8th graders are at 76 students, and we see between grades 8 through 12, 224 students a day. So we see a lot of them, and so it's a lot of fun for us in that classroom. We offer industry certifications. One area in floral design this year, Ms. Darby will have 25 students certified in the knowledge portion for the Texas State Florist Association, and then 20 more students in the hands-on portion. So she trains the kids to build these arrangements. We're told what the arrangements will be, and they have to perform it within an hour, and also with their knowledge too. The American Welding Society, so Bryn is certified to certify students and check welds for the American Welding Society in the areas of D9.1 and core, and we'll have about 10 to 15 students be certified in that this year. So really exciting things happening for us on the industry side. Looking at our supervised agricultural experiences, so typically when people think, okay, so what kind of project are you doing? They're like, we're going to show livestock. Okay, and we do. We have kids that show livestock. We had 35 students participate East Texas Jamboree, along with showing agricultural mechanics projects. We had 5 students participate in Harvest Festival. But what people really don't see, though, is our horticulture class putting in time in greenhouse production. Our greenhouse is entirely student-run. Ms. Darby is there to give advice, but they are put into teams, and they make it happen. So it's been neat to get to watch our kids learn, oh, this is what it's like to be a manager, and have to manage a group of people, and oh, this person doesn't want to work, or this one doesn't show up to school. What are we going to do? How are we going to get things done? So that's been a really good experience for them. We have a community garden that was producing well into the fall this last year, and so we're getting that situated again. But also in our world, we talk about jobs and we say that they're placement areas. So we have students in paid and unpaid placements in the areas of forage, forestry, horticulture, floriculture, beef production, small animal processing, ag mechanics, wildlife and natural resources, and the equine industries. So a lot of schools and people that we visit with, they look at us and go, what, you don't go to major livestock shows? Well, no, because we have a program full of kids that need us, and not all of our kids can afford to have a heifer project or have a major livestock project. So we really focus on what can we help our kids build for the future and for their future careers. Now, On the FFA side, we are pretty busy. We do leadership teams, career development teams, speaking events, leadership camps, community service, and we have students that participate in programs across the state, like our convention media. We have a student that has been a reporter for that and has applied to go again. And then we've also had our Texas FFA Foundation ambassadors who are responsible for taking around donors for the Texas FFA Foundation at our FFA convention. So our busiest time with our leadership teams and career development events. So we had 12 teams this past year, 40 kids participating, and 8 teams qualified for the area contest. In our career development events, or judging contests, as some people call them, we had 12 teams, 43 students competing, and 7 state advancing teams. It gets a little crazy for us running around, and thankfully, when all 43 kids have to go on the same day, I got my bus driver certification, so we are good to go and can take them there. But we had a really successful year. A lot of our kids, we tried some new contests. We've never done entomology before. This is the first year that we've actually trained farm business. And so we had a really good year and a lot of fun with that. And then we have our speaking event. So we had 3 categories that we competed in, 5 students competed, and then we have advancing to area, a junior prepared speaker, and extemporaneous speaker. But I guess the best thing about my job is getting to be with the kids and getting to show them different things and introduce them to different things. So I'm going to introduce Ms. Ryan Murphy. She's going to come talk about what the program has meant to her and things that she's done and what her future plans are.
I'm Ryan Murphy. This year I'm currently serving as our chapter president here at the Harmony FFA. I have always been heavily involved in agriculture at my home life. My family has always had a small herd of cattle and horses and all the good things that people in East Texas have. Shortly after, I joined the Upshur County 4-H and began showing some small livestock projects. But a really big milestone in my life is when I joined the Harmony FFA in 8th grade. Since then, I have developed an insane passion for agriculture and all of the people that help basically make our world turn. I mean, nobody would be able to do anything without agriculture. We wouldn't be sitting here eating this food or wearing our clothes. And you know, people always say, you know, teachers are the backbone of our world and our nation. Nobody would be able to know how to do anything, you know, read, write, without teachers. But there are some people that have jobs where reading and writing necessarily aren't the big deals. We have jobs in our world that require ag teachers. And I think an ag teacher is such an honorable and noble profession. It's been a pleasure having several different ag teachers in my life. I think I've had 5 different ag teachers throughout my high school career. And it's just been such a pleasure to be able to see what they do every day. And they're truly just awe-inspiring people. That is why I'm a graduating senior this year, so I will be attending Sam Houston State in the fall to become an ag teacher just like these ladies. Like I said, my passion is for agriculture, and so I cannot wait to share my passion with others and produce people that are contributing to our society in ways that aren't necessarily just your day-to-day jobs. You know, these are people that are going to be in the fields, or maybe they're, you know, running livestock through the chutes, or whatever they're going to do. They're going to be benefiting all members of society. Thank you.
We really appreciate the time and for us allowing us to come speak. I'd like to introduce Ms. Tammy Porter. She is our Family and Consumer Science teacher at Harmony High School and FCCLA advisor.
Thank you for getting it right. So my name is Tammy Porter. I teach Family Consumer Science, or you can just abbreviate to FCS, formerly known as Home Ec, but don't say that word because it's very negative. It's more than just cooking and cleaning now. There's a lot of science in it, real world skills. We do budgeting. We talked, recently we just learned how to purchase a car and our first home, what goes into the different types of banking skills that you need as an adult. We have seniors that will be graduating this year that have full cover letters, resumes, how to write follow-up letters for those future jobs. They have learned how to dress for success. You know, one of the biggest things is I tell them, you know, well, I've got a piercing or a tattoo or something. I said, you keep it covered until you get the job, then you can let your crazy out. You know, we'll hide that for a little while. And I really enjoy teaching family consumer science because of all the different things that go into making our homes and our societies. Well, as being an FCS teacher, you have 3 options of extra things you can do. You can teach Taffy, which is, if I had a lot of students that wanted to become teachers, that would be a great thing to do. But in my 9 years at Harmony, I've only had 2 students that went on to become educators. So it's really not practical for me to do. You can do nothing, which I'm not that type of person, or you can do something called FCCLA, and that stands for Family Career Community Leaders of America. It is the only CTSO that is student-led with family as its main focus. When I got there, the former teacher, who I love dearly, she was my teacher, she would go to the conventions and the contests just to go, just to see what it was like, you know, and they did not participate for years. And when I took over, I decided we were going to do something. Every year since I've been here, we've had either a region or a state officer. That is very hard to come by. To become a region or state officer, you have to memorize every fact about FCCLA from the beginning to present. You have to know former presidents' names, dates, when we were associated with the union. I mean, it's a lot. So you have the exam, you have an interview with 6 different people. They could be former officers, advisors, national advisors, or officers. Then you have a 1-minute speech over the topic. This year's topic was a new leaf. So Nina, and I'll introduce her in a minute, was able to give a 1-minute speech. And it's exactly 1 minute. If you try to go over, they will cut you off real fast. Then you have a fact question and a knowledge question. I don't know what the knowledge question was this year because they no longer allow us in there to watch our students. They let our students, but not the advisors anymore because some of them were recording and trying to get heads up. But in the past, I know it would be like, if you were a kitchen utensil, what would you like to be? And my former state officer said a melon baller because everybody likes something round. So I was like, okay, but not sure, but that's a great answer. She got state office 2 years in a row, so that was pretty good. With FCCLA, family is our main focus. We do a lot of community services that deals with family, especially children and women. And I know we're not leaving men out, but that's usually the greatest need is for our women and our children. We do a lot with the elderly, especially around Gilmer. We enjoy, and Nina will bring up a board and talk about that in a minute. But it's also to build leadership skills. I have a former region officer, she got it 2 years in a row, and her freshman year, she would not speak to anybody. She wouldn't talk to classmates, she wouldn't talk to me, and I convinced her to become a chapter officer. Then I kind of nudged her into running the region, and by the end of her senior year, she was talking in front of 3,000 people that stayed. So we were really proud of her, and she's about that big, and she will boss anybody around now. So we're very proud of how far she has come, and she's actually in college right now to become a bilingual kindergarten teacher. So I'm very proud of how far she came. But Nina is our upcoming chapter officer. Well, she is chapter officer. She's our upcoming Region 3 officer for membership. And I'm going to let her talk to you about what she's been doing and things that she's learned.
Hi, as you guys just heard, my name is Nina. I am the upcoming Region 3 membership officer. There's our board. Can you guys see it? Well, I'm very excited to be here today to tell you a little bit about myself and what all FCCLA has helped me accomplish. Well, for one, I was pretty extroverted when I was in school, and when I was younger, I became homeschooled. And when I moved here, I wasn't really as extroverted as I was now. But going into high school, meeting Miss Porter, and meeting all the officers, it really gave me like a sense of belonging. And so I decided to apply and try out. And this year, I'm the Vice President of Community Service in our Harmony chapter. Well, Miss P convinced me to try out for a region officer position, and it took a lot of work, okay? I had to write a speech, I had to memorize it, I had to memorize a lot of facts, and I made it. And becoming an officer is a huge accomplishment, and it meant a lot to me. And in doing so, I met so many people, and I've made so many long-lasting friendships, and that's worth the experience alone. But I know there's so much coming up. It hasn't even started yet, but it's gonna be awesome. But now I'm just making it better community service. Okay, so normally we do a buddy walk. However, this year we were unable to, but hopefully next year we will. It's to help out children who have Down syndrome, to make them feel more welcomed and at home, you know? And we do our Gingerbread Workshop, which is for parents who haven't finished their Christmas shopping or haven't wrapped all of their presents. We take them in for an afternoon and leave the parents free to do whatever they want. We give them activities, we give them a movie, feed them, have a lot of fun with them. And this year we started making cakes a little while ago to give to our first responders. We started that. Are we giving them out today? We're giving our cakes out today. And during the fall week for the seniors, we always do a Halloween carnival for them. This year it was a little bit different, but we were able to make it work, and it was so worth it to see the smiles on their face. And it means a lot to help out. Good. Oh, also, scholarships. Okay, FCCLA gives out so many scholarships. People at our chapter have won scholarships. Not this year, though. They have in the past. And it's been said that this year FCCLA will give out $3 million in scholarships, national, which that is a lot of money. A lot of money. And as Ms. P said, this organization is all about family and communications. As I've said, this whole experience has led me to become more of a leader than I was before. Like, it's taught me to listen to all of everything everybody says. Like, if someone has a small complaint about something, I'll do something to fix it. Like, our whole group, okay, we have this group for the region officers in our region, and we were having a little trouble with our shirt designs for camp. But we all listened to everybody's opinion, and we made it all work. We got this great s'mores design t-shirt. It looks great. I think I hit all of my points.
Is there any questions